Politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should they go out to fight? They leave that role to the poor. Hello, my name is Fitz.
And I'm Russell.
And we're the Crunchy Duck Gamers.
Woo!
And for a fourth week in a row, we have Logan Wolverine here on the Crunchy Duck Gamers podcast. Hello, Logan.
What is going on, guys? So happy to be back for a fourth time. Yeah. Why haven't you guys stopped inviting me yet?
Well, for many reasons that may become clear in the future, because Russell's leaving for Europe and we need a co-host. Anyway,
I'm going on vacation soon.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a very smooth introduction to your character until you're abruptly killed off in the mid-season finale.
Perfect. Okay,
but we'll still come back to the show periodically.
Yeah, but we'll come back in flashbacks.
Game of Crunchy Duck Gamer Thrones. Perfect.
Anyways,
we should take that and run with that game.
Do it.
Game of Crunchy Ducks.
Game of Ducks.
Game of Ducks.
Winter is coming. We have to migrate south.
Isn't that a movie? That's a movie, but with geese. It's like Fly Away Home.
Fly Away Home.
Yeah, Fly Away Home. It's a Disney original.
Jeff Daniels and the actress who plays Rogue in X-Men.
Oh my God,
Anna Paquin. Yeah, she's also in Almost Famous.
Oh God. Anyway,
let's go on. Anything new going on with you guys this week?
As far as gameplay goes,
it's just life in general, honestly.
Not really. No. Well, are we gonna talk about games that we've been playing this week?
Fitz, what's new with you this week?
What's new? Well, actually, Russell and we've been playing a little bit of Magicka. Yeah. Magic is just another. It's a lot like Slayer. Slayer. Gauntlet
Slayer. Or my favorite version, Slayer Gauntlet.
Slayer Gauntlet. It's a lot like Gauntlet, but you're only playing as a wizard and you're combining all these spells. We're probably going to talk about it one day, so we're not going to say too much. But we're having a really, really fun time with this. It was just recommended to us by the 4205 cast. It's a podcast we chat with on Twitter sometimes, and we talk to them a lot, and they're good people. Yeah, they're right. We're having a lot of fun with it, and we hope to talk about it on the show sometime, actually. So Magicka had a joke in there that made me laugh for like a good solid 5 to 10 minutes. I wasn't expecting it, and all of a sudden it happened, and Fitz and I were trying to figure out what was going on, and then it hit me, and I started laughing hysterically. And it was the spell Computer Crash, right?
Yeah, there's a spell that you can get in the game called Blue Screen of Death, and if you do the spell correctly and you cast it, a random character on screen will literally become the blue screen of death and disappear. And I wasn't expecting that because it's like, oh, blue screen of death. I wonder what this is referencing. And then it's an actual blue screen of death, and I was laughing for a while.
Wasn't that on PS Plus a while ago?
There is Magicka 2, which had a wider release than Magicka. Magicka 2 is for the consoles and then for PC and Mac.
Yeah, I think I played Magicka 2 on PS Plus 1 month, and I remember having a good time with it. I just never finished it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a fun game. It's much better with friends and teammates.
Yeah.
Than it is by yourself. I remember playing the demo by myself. I wasn't that into it. But playing with Fitz, it's a lot more fun.
Right.
And hysterical.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun. And actually, Magicka 1 is better reviewed than Magicka 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only played the demo of Magicka 2, so I don't really know. But it's just better reviewed. I don't think it's much different either.
Yeah, I think I've only played the demo of Magicka, and I haven't played 2 yet.
As far as games I'm playing, I'm still finishing up Ratchet and Clank. I decided it's kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Is it one of those games that like it starts out really well, but then kind of plateaus?
No, it's just like there really just wasn't enough different from the original game, and that's sort of what they played it off as. Like something that would be a little bit different, but it really just wasn't. Just I don't know. I just remember the original PS2 games being a lot more enjoyable than this one. It looks great, like it looks beautiful, but I mean they didn't really change anything gameplay wise. I mean they just sort of copied and pasted.
Yeah, I mean like if they advertised it as like a remaster or like a remaster abridged, I don't know, I haven't played it, then it'd been fine. But like as you're saying, they advertised it as just a new game completely, and it wasn't.
There's no remake or remaster on the title at all. I mean, it's just kind of misleading.
So my question is, if you have someone who has never really played the series before, would this be like a good entry into the game, or would you recommend that they go back to the PS2 version?
A lot of the jokes that they make, like I think I said this a couple episodes ago, they do reference the other games, like as jokes. People kind of left out. I don't know how people normally react to that sort of thing, but if you want to be in the loop, if you will, I'd just play the PS2 one. But they have the PS3 remakes as well. They have the HD collection on PS3.
Okay.
So I'd just go with that, honestly.
That's good advice. I never really played a Ratchet and Clank game.
It's great. I mean, it's a great series. It's just this one was just sort of disappointing.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of people that like they only they played Ratchet and Clank and then didn't play Jak and Daxter because the two games look really similar, or people who just like only played Jak and Daxter and then didn't even know about Ratchet and Clank. Or it seems like those two games have like a bit of a rivalry going on.
Two games that I heard really good things about, but I was too busy playing Star Wars Battlefront to care.
I mean, I played all of them. I played Ratchet and Clank. I played Jak and Daxter. I played Sly Cooper. They're all great. I mean, they all have their little taste of something different, you know.
Yeah, I played Jak and Daxter, and that one, I really enjoyed those games. I think that was a great transition for Naughty Dog because that was actually right after Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
Naughty Dog finished with Crash Team Racing and then went to Jak and Daxter, and I think that was a really good transition for them.
Great.
And they're really fun games too.
They're great 3D platformers.
You know,
that's all they had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe I was watching Tyler play Jak and Daxter my freshman year. Was that Tyler or was that you, Russell?
That would have been Tyler.
Tyler? Yeah, and you know, they looked great to me. I just never played them. I don't. Someone was playing a Jak and Daxter game. I think it was Tyler.
I know I started playing it junior year because that's when I got it.
Yeah, it was someone before then. But I saw someone playing it. It may have been someone who dropped out. But I'm pretty sure it was Tyler, and Tyler may correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not on the show, so he can't.
Honorable mention to those who have dropped out, who were playing Jak and Daxter.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else we want to mention before we move on?
I'm looking forward to starting the show. Let me know when you want to pick up the show. I'll play with you. Let me know.
Yeah.
The show as in our podcast or MLB?
Like MLB the show. I don't care about this
getting...
podcast as much as I care about MLB the show 16.
And you know what, Logan? We're both on the same boat.
Yes. Nice.
Okay, so we haven't mentioned which one we're playing yet. We're talking about Bloodborne today.
Yay!
Woo!
Bloodborne!
Yeah.
Super excited because this is like one of my most favorite PS4 games.
Fear the old blood.
Like this is Bloodborne is one of those games where like if it's made by From Software, who's done like the Dark Souls games. So if you've played Dark Souls and you want to get a PS4, this is your excuse to get a PS4. You will not be disappointed.
Not at all.
In this game.
Honestly, I agree with you guys. I certainly wasn't disappointed in the game. I'll get more into my thoughts of the game as the show goes on. But right now, let's talk about the story.
Okay.
Yay!
Go ahead, Russell. Take it away.
You, Russell. Okay. I'm so lost.
I will be very brief with Bloodborne, even though unfortunately Bloodborne is a From Software game, which means that you have to dig for the story, and the story is actually like it's really good for this. one. But basically, it starts out where you have as Logan has pointed out, it's the town of Yarnham, not my infamous Yarnham. Yarnham. Yarnham actually sounds like the neighbor's like scalawag dog who keeps jumping into the neighbor's yard and digging holes. Darn you, Yarnham!
Who names their dog Yarnham?
I don't know, some weird family from Connecticut, I guess.
Connecticut. Such a random state.
Connecticut.
So with Bloodborne, the plot starts out, you have the town of Yarnham, which is actually, they find out that there are... Yarnham, sorry. Every time I say Yarnham,
I just sigh.
You have the town...
I'm already drunk. I'm already drunk.
So you have the town of Yarnham, and they discovered that there are actually ruins beneath the city, and from the ruins they discovered a race of beings that existed before people. And these beings, most of them actually transcended space and time, kind of existing throughout multiple physical and mental planes. But they do find some existing creatures left, and they call them, the old ones. And from the physical creatures, they start creating blood cures, using the creature's blood to cure whatever ails humans. And from there, you have kind of two splits in philosophy. You have the people that are exploring the mind and multiple dimensions and realities. That's the College of Bergenworth and the Unseen Village. And then you have the Healing Church, which is developing basically physical cures using old creature blood. And then from there, that's when bad things start happening. People that have been receiving these blood cures start turning into monsters. And then people known as hunters come into being, where they start at first covertly slaying monsters, and then they become more and more popular until you eventually have the Night of the Hunt, where every once in a while the town kind of becomes quarantined, and hunters come out and start slaying monsters for 24 hours. And that's where your character comes in. You sign a blood contract to become a hunter, and you kind of wake up seeking something known as the Pale Blood. And from there, you go throughout Yarnham and discover the secrets and scary things and what's been happening.
Yeah, one thing about the story and Bloodborne in general, it doesn't hold your hand.
No.
A lot of games, it's follow this bread trail to the next objective, and then follow the bread trail again to the next objective. I'm looking at you, Fable, where you literally follow the bread trail, but I'm not getting into that. Anyway, but especially in the story, where you have to read Wikipedia articles to understand that there is a story.
There's one thing about From Software games, and that's there is no shame in using a guide to beat these games. There's just no shame.
No at all. None.
Because it's how else will I be supposed to know that, this one insignificant, little plot detail was actually, connected to all these other things in the game.
No shame whatsoever.
Yeah, no shame. And my guide was Russell. He actually literally played my game over to share play on our PS4.
Yeah, to get one of the secrets, because rather than explaining, Fitz, you need to go through this path, and then you need to tumble off a cliff and land on this. Meanwhile, you have to make a cup of espresso and do all these complicated things. It's Fitz, just let me just take your controller over via the internet. And remember, there's a part in the game where to stumble upon an old secret, you literally have to just roll off a bridge into the abyss, and you land on a plank, and Fitz was oh, what are you doing? And it's oh, there's something there, okay.
It's where are you going, Russell? Where are you going? You're dying. Oh, okay. You're fine. You're fine. I should have trusted you.
Yeah. And Bloodborne is one of those games where you only get the story through item descriptions and what characters are saying. And I don't want to talk a lot more into the story and all the little bitty details, because I will be spending the next half hour talking, and I have a tendency to keep talking.
Yeah, and we'll probably change the subject to Star Trek at some point. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
This happened before in the podcast.
This happened in one of our test recordings. I somehow got onto Star Trek.
And we talked about 10 minutes for Star Trek.
I won't do. I've learned a lot as a person since then. But yeah, you start out in the game and you find out the craziness that's going on, and Eventually, you find out like what the every one of the things that they do point out is that every monster that you fight, with the exception of some of the creatures, they were people once. Especially in the beginning, it kind of starts off like an American Werewolf in London, and you're just fighting people that look like werewolves, and then eventually you're fighting these alien-looking creatures that are trying to suck your life out through your brain.
Oh god, the blood sucker, the brain suckers.
Yeah, the brain
Holy
suckers,
crap! I'm stuck on them right now. Look, I'm doing an optional part of the game, and they keep sucking my brains.
Yeah, there's it's part of the game where you go to the healing church, which is actually the cause of this whole quote plague type thing. And it's a tough area because it's like it's all in dark, and you've got werewolves, and then you've got brain suckers, and it's and then you got these weird little like cat looking like things that are just on the ground, just like sitting there and doing nothing.
And they always seem like they want to attack me, and then they just don't.
They do actually. They're very slow about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk this way.
It's like, oh, maybe these are nice creatures. Wait a minute, this is a From Software game. Nope, it's going to meet my axe.
Anyway, back to... Do you want to explain a little bit more about the story, Russell?
Yeah, I'll be as brief as I can possibly be.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Don't need to go too far.
But yeah, basically you find out that the old ones, who are now interdimensional beings, are actually kind of manipulating people with the ultimate goal of creating more old ones through humans. Which is why throughout the game you hear baby cries, which is disturbing enough, until eventually you come upon a successful union to find a little baby carriage, which is when you're stopped by one of the, I would argue, one of the coolest bosses, Murgo's wet nurse, who just kind of drops down out of nowhere and has literally no face and is just covered in cloths, and then pulls out 4 swords because it's a creature with 4 arms and hands. And you know their whole purpose is to create a new great one through humanity and trying to push humanity into the next step of evolution. But you also find out that not all great ones are for this, and this is when you run in one of the last 2 optional bosses are actually the hunter who is helping you. His name is Gehrman. He actually wants to basically, once you beat Murgo's wet nurse, he actually wants to remove you from the hunter's nightmare and basically saying, you just wake up as if nothing has happened. You can tell him no, and then you fight him. And then once you beat him, you find out that Gehrman is actually trapped in what's known as the hunter's nightmare by another great one called the Moon Presence. And if you meet certain criteria, the Moon Presence tries to make you the new Gehrman and can either succeed or fail. If it succeeds, you become the next Gehrman, and you have the doll pushing you around in a wheelchair, waiting for the next generation of hunters. Or you fight the Moon Presence and win, and you successfully transcend the hunt and become a great one yourself. And the doll picks you up and takes care of you.
Oh, okay. Spoilers. That sounds pretty interesting.
Now, the one story point that I think was a little bit missed there in that explanation, which was well done, by the way.
I'm being very brief and skipping over a lot of stuff.
When you said,
because I could talk.
When you said about the baby cries, I actually think that's from the Great Ones themselves, right? Because they seek to impregnate women in the series, or I guess the game, if you will. Because Ikovska is one of them.
Yeah, and that's...
The wet nurse is another one.
Yeah, the Ikovska... Well, the wet nurse... So you have... Is it Ikovska? I can never pronounce her name. Like yeah, the Ikovska, the owner of the clinic, that's actually a duplicate from the Healing Church. She actually transforms the real Ikovska into an alien being type thing. And anyone you send to the clinic... then you have, I want to say Elena, the prostitute.
Ariana,
the prostitute, whom you can get an umbilical cord. And then you have actually Queen Yarnum, who her storyline is actually super tragic because due to the Great Ones interfering and trying to impregnate her with another Great One, her soul becomes doomed to walk the earth forever. She can't die. Right before you fight Murgo's wet nurse, and she's also the mother of Murgo. Her body is basically gives birth, which is why her stomach is covered in blood every time you see her. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't go well for her. But her body dies, but her spirit is doomed to walk the earth forever. So when you first run into her, she's looking up at the tower where Murgo and Murgo's wet nurse is located. She's also the final boss of the Chalice dungeons, which are optional areas you can fight. When you kill her, you can't kill a Great One. Great Ones exist. Like, they have physical forms that can be destroyed, but they cannot die. They can always come back. Which is why the only time you fight Great Ones is actually in someone's dream, where they can be destroyed in the dream, but they still exist, which is why... and this is where it gets kind of confusing, because there's the Hunter's Dream, and then you have the Nightmare of Mensis, who is the leader of the hidden village. It's one of those people who is through knowledge and wisdom trying to ascend rather than by physical blood, and that's where there's a separation between intellect and body.
All right, I think we get a pretty good idea of the plot of Bloodborne that you have to read on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it gets super crazy. The only reason I got really into it is because it's based pretty heavily on H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah,
and you totally see that in the game.
Yeah,
and just amazing.
That's why
actually.
When the game first started out, I thought it was more like Dark Souls, where you had it's dark magic, it's evil, and then it's like, oh no, it's actually craziness from alternate dimensional alien beings. And it's like, okay, this has just got creepy and weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we got enough of the story. I mean, yeah, you did that terrifically well, and I don't know how much I would cut from that, because I was very interested in listening to you. One thing, we're gonna move on to the gameplay of the game. I think, as someone who's played Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls and absolutely hated it. Absolutely hate Demon Souls and Dark Souls. And then I picked up Bloodborne after being bullied into picking it up. It's a vast improvement from Demon Souls and Dark Souls, because I actually have fun playing this, as opposed to Demon Souls, Dark Souls, where I felt like I was just walking into a brick wall every 10 seconds. This one is actually I felt like I was making progress every time I died.
You know what? You actually used a good word in there. You said that we bullied you into playing Bloodborne, but I think it's a good adjective to use describing Demon Souls and Dark Souls. That game bullies you.
It does. It really does.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah.
And Bloodborne, like you said, it really makes you feel better. It's still hard. It's still a From Software game, but you're rewarded much more often. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a lot more fun to play.
Yeah, you're also not punished as much for dying. When you die, you lose all your echoes, the game's currency. But that's it. There's a chance to lose them permanently, and then you can get them back. It's
not really hard to build up back too.
But that's the game's punishment. In other games, when you die, you lose certain statuses, your health would go down more and more permanently. But with this, it's okay, I died. Okay, well, I learned from that, and it doesn't punish you as much. It does want you to succeed and to win. Logan, I do want to apologize. You actually could be correct on the cries of the babies. I
think I am.
Yeah, well, one of the great things about the plot is that a lot of it is still open to interpretation.
Absolutely.
Because when I said earlier of the moon presence is working against the other Great Ones, that is speculation based off of the actions that the hunters have taken against the Great Ones and the monsters.
Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about the gameplay. I mean,
it's fast.
Basic. It's faster.
Very fast. It's
you
fluid.
have fun playing it.
Fluid.
Yeah, it's fast. It's fluid. It's rewarding. It's punishing.
Even when I fail at fighting a boss, which is inevitable, it makes me wanna fight it again directly afterwards. It always makes me feel like I had a chance in beating it. Whereas in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, the very first beatable boss, I would say, because both those games, the first boss you face isn't beatable.
That's because Dark Souls, the first boss you come across, it's the game is expecting you to lose, and then if you you can win. It's really difficult though, but if you win, it's oh, okay, cool. Here's your little pat on the head, and then you're dead. Sorry.
Yeah. But in this one, like, every time I fought a boss, I feel like I had a chance to beat it that round. Even if I didn't, even if I wasn't high enough a level, I feel like there was always a chance, and that's where this game succeeds. It makes me want to keep playing.
Here's my take on that. Let me know if this happened with you guys too, but every time I went to fight a boss, the first time I got maybe like 75% of the way through, I got really close to beating it. I'd go back right away, and I wouldn't even come close to beating it. Did that happen to you guys?
That happened a couple times.
Like,
that happened a couple of times with me.
That's just what the game does. It makes you so cocky. Like, oh, I got this guy almost dead. I could just come in there and, finish it off really quickly. No. Like, you have to take your time with this game.
Yeah.
You can't go rushing in headfirst into anything. You have to be patient in order to succeed.
Because any enemy can kill you.
Yeah,
absolutely any enemy if you're not paying attention. Like I remember at the beginning of the game, I was getting cocky. Like, oh, these like normal looking humans kind of ish. Oh, they're pretty weak. I'm feeling on like 2 hits, and then one of them killed me pretty easily. Oh crap! Okay, I need to focus again. Pull me right back into it. It's like Russell said to me, this is not a quote from me, this is a quote from Russell. This game, Bloodborne, is hard, but it's fair. When you die, it's always your fault.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was running into the thing where it's like I was like against standard enemies, I was doing fine, and then I come across a boss and I'd get wrecked. Like absolutely wrecked. Because like it's
humbles.
Yeah, it's really hard to be patient with some of these bosses because one of like the first bosses that you come across, which is the cleric beast, is a big, fast-moving blur of like fur and blood and fury, and it's really hard to be patient with some of these bosses because they move just as fast, if not faster, than you. Especially Father, we call him Father Gilgamesh, but Gascoigne. He's one of the first bosses that you have to beat, and he's fast and he's tough, and he does have a pattern though, and he can be beaten.
Like I said, it's all about patience. It's all about learning, and it's all about patience.
Which is hard to do when you have the cleric beast. It's like shrieking at you, and
I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm just saying that's what needs to happen.
One thing about this game where I think it does it a little too much, it makes you. It's a bit of a positive and a bit of a negative for me. It makes you think you're going the right way at times when you're actually going the completely wrong way. Like, it happened to me a couple of times. It happened to me going into the Cleric Beast, and it happened to me going to... Well, I thought I was going to have to beat the Bloodstarved Beast, but apparently I don't even have to be there at all, ever.
No, it's useful to beat the Bloodstarved Beast, though.
Yeah, it's useful, as you showed me, but when we beat it, it was like, okay, what do we do next, Russell?
It's like, oh yeah, now we have...
You actually went the wrong way. What?
It's like, okay, you beat this boss, and wait, there's no other path that I can go to. Yeah, now I have to go to the other side of the map, and now you can do this, this, this. And it's like, how would I know that without
looking that up? Like, how would I know? How would I know, like, to buy this item from the vendor and then use that item to unlock a door that I didn't even know was there? Like,
again, I'm gonna keep saying it. No shame in using a guide.
Yeah, and the game also it does encourage exploration, but the problem is exploration usually leads you to an area where you. Yeah, either gets you killed or you think you're going the right way, and then 4 hours later you realize you're not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you, old Yarnum.
Also, fair warning to those who consider themselves collectors. It is really hard to like get everything you need to get in order to like platinum this game and to just it's very doable. Yeah. Like, it's not impossible by any means, but oh my gosh, you really have to drag yourself through
I'm 2 trophies away from platinuming this game. Basically I have to do the most basic ending, which is just like Garamond behead me, and then the platinum one for getting all the trophies. But it's taken me like 3 or 4 playthroughs with 2 different characters to get everything. Like, this is one of those games where I have obsessed about this so much that I've almost platinumed it. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't plan on platinuming it. I only platinum games that are convenient and only have story trophies and are Telltale games, and they only have story trophies and you platinum by beating them.
I would not recommend platinuming this game because I was having a lot of fun with this game until I got to the Chalice dungeons. And those
Right.
Chalice dungeons, they do add some more story to it. They do have some really cool bosses, but they're very gimmicky. As in, oh, let's have you fight the boss from the storyline, but in a smaller space. And guess what? You have half your health now, so you can be killed in one hit.
Yep.
Go. And it's just it became very gimmicky, and it was also frustrating because it was also like the same 3 levels, just copy and pasted over and over again. So I would not recommend platinuming this game unless you are absolutely in love with it and are willing to be mad at it well beyond what you should be.
Yeah, it had me mad a little bit sometimes. At times. But yeah. Important question right here,
Yeah.
Logan. Part of the one of the shining aspects of any From Software game is the boss fights or art of boss fights. What is who is your favorite boss in the game?
I will tell you that I had the most fun with the Shadows of Yharnam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because
it's a good one.
You pretty much have to do co-op in order to beat them. It's three bosses in one. So it's pretty much a 3-on-1 unless you summon people to help you. And again, I love these games for the base game, but when you add co-op to these types of adventures, it becomes so much more fun, as I'm sure you guys have found out. But yeah, I mean, I loved just fighting these guys with other people, with my friends. Our friend Cody, who actually couldn't make it to this podcast tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that fight. I also liked, as much of a freaking headache as he was, I also really liked Mikolash.
Oh god.
He's the guy with the cage head.
Yeah, that's my least favorite boss fight.
That's the thing. Like, I hated it, but once I figured it out, I was like, "I got you, you mother." You know, so it was just like,
it's a change of pace from the other boss fights where they're all like willing to attack you, and this guy's just running away. You have to chase him.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and I found that really cool too. I
was just gonna say the problem I had with Mikolash, is that he used Arcane, and that had the high potential of just killing you in like 1 or 2 hits.
One shot, yeah.
He would do the spell Call Beyond, which is like, hey, to Call Beyond, the player claps their hands together and starts a little star explosion, which shoots bits everywhere across the area. One of those bits has the potential of taking out like half to 3/4 of your health. But what's
the tentacle spell that he uses?
That's the Augur of Abritus. That one also has the potential of killing you in 1 hit.
Yeah,
because that happened.
I had full health. I have pretty damn high health, and he kills me in 1 hit.
Yeah, I watched as Fitz got hit once and went down, and it's like, oh, that's bad. Fitz, you don't have any arcane resistance, and he was like, nope.
I have 0 arcane resistance.
But yeah, Mikolash, that one annoys me just because arcane is one of those tough things in the game. Right. You either love it or you hate it.
All right, Russell, what about your favorite boss?
I actually have 3 favorites.
Ooh. It's just that good. This game is just that good. 2
of them are just because their entrance is really awesome. The one Reborn.
Yep.
Where basically you enter this area and then all of a sudden the cosmos opens up and this creature from another dimension that's made out of a whole bunch of dead bodies kind of grouped together just kind of falls out of the sky and lands right in front of you, which really reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah, like it reminded me of a Chimera.
Yeah. And then Murgo's Wet Nurse, when you approach the baby cage, all of a sudden this like thing of cloth and beads and jewelry and death just falls down. And when Murgo looks up,
did you just say baby cage?
Baby cage. The baby carrier, the bugaboo.
Carriage?
The baby cage. The baby carriage, thank you.
Sometimes you keep babies in cages. I mean, like they go everywhere. Like they're moving
baby
all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna be a great dad one day, Russell.
Yeah, but then when Murgo's Wet Nurse looks up, you can see the shroud, but there's no face, which is just like equally terrifying when you can't see your foe. And then my absolutely favorite boss is actually the Orphan of Kos, which is in the DLC. That boss is incredibly difficult. It took me like 15 tries to beat that boss.
Nice.
At like level 120.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the DLC the DLC is great because it's meant to be played you can play it whenever, but you want to be a high level because the enemies in that will just wipe the floor with you. And the DLC has some really tough boss battles. So the Orphan of Kos, that was one of those things where like I had to study that boss, and it took me so many tries to beat it. And when I finally beat it, I felt a great sense of accomplishment, and I will never do it again. Just because it was that tough. Where it's one of those things where it's like, okay, the boss is doing this. I can only attack during certain moves.
Right.
And that was the one that forced me back into patience.
Yeah. What's your favorite, Fitz?
My favorite, I'm going to say two. One, this is my top two, really. I'm going to say Father Gascoigne. Yep. Is that his name?
That's how you say it?
Yeah, Father Gascoigne. Like, just basically, it's the second boss you see, but like he's the first beatable one you see. And I don't know. For me, like for some reason I felt a connection to him because like he was having a conversation with me. Like he says, "Beast all over the shop. You'll be one of them sooner or later." And that really just opened up. Like, wow, we're all beasts, whether we realize it or not. But I don't know. I had the most fun fighting him, and like when he turned into his beast form, I was like, "Whoa, that's freaking cool!" And that was my first pop, or that's a professional wrestling term. But that was my first time. I was like, "Bro, I'm really into this game right now." That first time I felt that in the game. And my other one is currently the one I'm stuck on right now. Gehrman, the First Hunter. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's fun because it's fast. He's moving. You're moving. It's really tense.
He's got a really cool scythe.
He's got a really cool scythe that I really want.
Just beat him.
Where do I get it, Russell? Show me.
Yeah, you gotta beat him, and then you can buy it from the Bath Messengers.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what it scales well with, but it might work for you because you're a strength person. But it has incredibly high rally. So if you get like hit pretty hard, you can use it to actually get all your health back in like 2 or 3 swipes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Like I really want that weapon, but like I don't know. All the other bosses, I was just like, okay, I'm fighting you because you're a beast. Oh, I'm fighting you because you're insane. But these two, I don't know. It felt more real to me. I felt more.
Yeah, they had sort of the same desires as you did.
Yeah, they had sort of the same desires that I do.
We're both hunters, but you're a hunter that finally succumbed to the nightmare.
Yeah.
Can we segue, since we sort of talked about the scythe, can we segue into the weapons of this game?
I want to say one thing, though. Yeah, we'll segue, but I want to say one more thing. One of the reasons why I actually connect with Father Gascoigne is because we used the axe. We used the blunderbuss, and then I bought his armor, and it made me feel like I was taking his place
Fitz
as
stole
like
his
a
identity.
hunter. I stole his identity. I had like the mutton chops and everything. Like, even though I'm a redhead in the game.
Yeah, Fitz's character is a pale, redheaded, almost Irishman with the mutton chops, copper type person.
Yeah, like, I have a pretty lively character, and if he could talk, he'd be pretty fun to be around. I don't know if he'd be fun after this journey, but
my character was built after Santa Claus, like a really old guy with a white beard.
That's awesome.
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my first character, I made it as like I made it look so different for me. I made him bald with a monocle and a black goatee, which is like, I'm not bald, and I don't have a goatee, and I will never have a goatee. Monocle maybe, but
honestly, this game would work really well as an anime.
It really would.
I really want this to be an anime. You got oversized weapons. You have like really over the top characters.
It takes forever to get something done sometimes. Like, honestly, you could spend like 10 to 15 episodes on Father Gascoigne.
Yeah, you could, and he could have 10 monologues.
Yeah, he actually this is his backstory too. I mean, you actually can run into his children in the game.
And I did.
Yeah, you get the music box, which you can use to paralyze him during the fight and take him down, which is really useful because he's really tough.
And this like, oh wait, this person has children. Like he's real.
Yeah. Weapons. Logan, I wanted to talk about the weapons of this game.
There's a great side and there's a oh no side about the weapons in Bloodborne. Even just compared to Dark Souls 3, which is what I've been playing recently, There, I think, is only 12 or 13 weapons in the base game in Bloodborne.
Yeah, there aren't that many.
Yeah, like usually, like in Dark Souls, when you kill an enemy, you can pick up their weapon, but that only happens with select bosses. I mean, a lot of them are beasts, so they don't really use weapons. But I mean, weapons are few and far between in Bloodborne. But when you get them, they're freaking amazing. Like, that's the thing. There's like no bad weapon for whatever build you're using.
Yeah, you can actually you can use the starter weapons. There are 3 starter weapons. An axe that turns into a great axe, which is awesome. You get spin to win, charge strong attack, and it just decimates everything. You get a cane that doubles as a sword and a whip.
Those aren't the starting ones,
which is awesome. Yeah, you can get the cane. Yeah, the cane, the threaded cane is one of the starting weapons. And then you
threaded cane, the axe, and the cleaver.
Which are the 3 starting weapons. And then the cleaver is the threaded cane, because because each weapon transforms, which is really awesome. So with the threaded cane, it's a cane sword, and then press a button and it turns into a whip, which saved my butt and it was very useful against the Bloodstar Beast for me. Just add some fire damage and nope, you can't touch me. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, they don't tell you weaknesses. You have to sort of figure them out. Or
you have to look that up too. You ever guess and check
what's your favorite weapon in Bloodborne?
Oh, I love the Kirkhammer. There's a weapon where it's like a rapier. It's like really fast, swift sword. It's got a short reach, but when you transform it, it turns into a giant hammer. You literally put it in its sheath, and the end of the sheath is just a giant hammer, and it's amazing. So that's easily my favorite.
Yeah, so you got the fast, toe-to-toe fencing style, and then I'm just gonna mess you up with a hammer.
At the press of a button.
The press of a button
turns into a great hammer. It turns into a granite maul from RuneScape.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon, it was the first weapon I got, and I'll always spin the win. I'm an axe guy. I'm an axe guy. I'm an axe guy in Bloodborne. I'm an axe guy in Skyrim, and those are the only 2 games I'm an axe guy in.
Fitz is an axe man.
I'm an axe man. No, in those 2 games. That in real life, axe smells terrible. That was my joke for today. Anyway, I just I really only use it 2-handed. I don't parry that much. I stab, I dodge, I stab, I dodge, I spin to win, and then I win.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's unique to Bloodborne is that there are only, including the DLC, there are only 2 shields. Because the game really wants you to focus on movement and using, and bullets are really you get a gun and the default is 20 Quicksilver bullets, but bullets are mostly used for causing visceral attacks and parrying. Which is very different from every other From Software game where you can use a shield to parry.
There's also a weapon in the DLC that my friend Cody and I dubbed the pizza cutter. Yeah, it's literally just 2 saw blades on the end of a large log.
Yeah, the World Gig saw.
And it looks like a pizza cutter, like a double pizza cutter. And it's amazing. It has amazing reach, and it will literally just decimate anything you come across.
It's like you can only hurt me if you get close enough. But I got the whirligig saw. Stand back, poke, stab.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten the DLC. I haven't even beaten the game yet. I might do that tonight. Any other concluding thoughts on Bloodborne?
One thing actually I do really want to talk upon the art design and the level design in Bloodborne.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Bloodborne actually. Anytime I played the Dark Souls games, I've never felt like this is an actual town that's had bad things happen to it. I always felt like, oh, this is a game, this is the level. Bloodborne is the only game from Software where I felt like this is an actual town that existed before I came in to play the game. Yeah,
it feels like that, and like you talk to people who are part of that town, and it feels like a 19th century town. Like, it immerses you in that. And I feel like that's where Dark Souls kind of fell off for me.
Well, that's the thing, because you do run into people that are living in this town. Like, you've run into NPCs throughout the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. One thing I would like to really quickly touch on about Bloodborne is the since we already sort of talked about the ending of the game, I feel like I could spoil this part. There's a boss fight against Vom the Voracious Spider. Rom the Voracious Spider.
Rom the vacuous spider.
Whatever it is. Rom the Spider. Rom the Spider. And he has apparently put a veil over what the actual world is like in Bloodborne. So once you beat this boss, everything becomes clear to the player. Yeah. There's this stat called Insight.
Well, quote unquote clear.
Right. So like after you beat this boss fight, you go to a previous area that you've been in, but it's like a different part of it, and you see things that were there the entire time that you just never noticed. I'll sort of keep it a little bit of a surprise as to what it is you see, but it's amazing. I've never
terrifying
come back from a loading screen, seen the game, and had my jaw drop like I did with that. Exactly.
What the heck is that? Why is it following me? Has that been there the entire time? What's going on?
It's just the world is just so beautifully created. And like you said, it's like H.P. Lovecraft. It's literally just H.P. Lovecraft thrown into like a 19th century town. And you have to fight beasts in it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it starts out as one thing. It's like, oh, I think I know where this is going. And then, oh, no, this is where it's really going? What game am I playing?
Like it felt like, oh, I'm Van Helsing. I'm killing werewolves. I'm killing vampires. Oh wait, what?
What's going on?
It's just so much more than that.
Did my game glitch? Yeah. Why am I in someone's nightmare?
What the hell is that thing?
What the heck is this? What the heck is that?
The cat. The heck is this? The heck is that? Okay.
Cool. The news.
Welcome to the news. Welcome to the news. This is the theme song to Dragon Ball. Gotta get 'em all. Dragon Ball.
This is the news where we will spend 4 episodes talking about 2 news topics. And it's raining again. It has been raining for like 3 weeks now.
It's stating it's raining in the East Coast, specifically in the Mid-Atlantic region.
It's been raining for like 3 weeks now.
It's depressing.
We had 2 days of sunshine, and that was it. Mother's Day was great. Anywho, news.
News. We're going to take a little bit of this time to talk about the status of our podcast. You know, everything's going well. We're getting the listeners we want. And unfortunately, I don't know if you've noticed, but 2 of our episodes have been discontinued on iTunes, and Podomatic have been taken down, or just there's no media file for them, because running a free account on Podomatic gives you a very limited amount of space. So right now we're exploring alternative means for a temporary amount of time. Our older episodes will only be available on YouTube. You can find our YouTube. Our YouTube channel name is Crunchy Duck. You can find us on there, and all of the episodes will be available right there.
And obviously the same rules apply. If you leave a review on YouTube, anything you want us to talk about from that particular episode, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, that's it. Older episodes on YouTube, and new episodes will be continued to be uploaded onto iTunes and Podomatic, and we will keep you up to date when we have reached a conclusion and decision on a new podcast host. So yeah, that's the serious stuff about our news. And yeah, Russell, news.
Okay, first thing I'm going to talk about is actually The Witcher 3. There was a slight kerfuffle with Steam. It's been announced that the Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion pack is going to be coming out May 31st. Yay! And I'm really excited. Witcher series is one of my most favorite game series. And PC Gamer actually has an article that has a little bit more details of what's coming in this final expansion. And just to give you some stats, they're going to be 90 new quests, 20 new monsters, 100 pieces of armor. It's armor, they spell it with a U, so you know they're serious. An upgradable vineyard, which is awesome.
I don't know why I want that, but I do.
Right? It's like, what can I do with that? But
make wine.
I guess it's like Assassin's Creed 2, where you had the upgradable villa, and then new mutations for your character. So it's going to add some new gameplay mechanics.
But yeah, I'm salivating.
Yeah,
I'm currently salivating.
I'm really excited. CD Projekt Red has been pretty consistent with the quality of their content over the years. So if they're taking one of their richest content-filled games and adding more rich content to it, is just great.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. We've been over this 100 times. 100 times. One of my favorite developers right now. They just continue to just put out quality games, and that goes from The Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3, and yeah, I'm in love.
You just get an audio rubber stamp of CD Projekt Red is great.
Yes, that's our review of CD Projekt Red.
They're great.
CDG stamp of approval. Yeah, there's not much else to that. I'm excited for The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. You're probably going to see us do a review on it like pretty quickly after it comes out. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually a little mad because I won't be able to play it directly when it comes out. I will not be in the country and away from my computer.
I will wait for you, Russell.
I will
play it, but I'll wait for you to talk about it.
Okay. Because I know the moment I come back, I'm not jet lagged. I'm just going to binge play it. I'm going to binge play it. That's how serious I am. I don't know what that means, but some other things that have been announced. For those FPS mech shooter fans, Titanfall 2 has been announced that it'll be coming out at the end of the year.
I can't wait to play Titanfall.
Yeah,
I've never played Titanfall.
This time, instead of being an Xbox One and PC exclusive game, it's going to be released on multiple consoles. So, hey, PS4 peeps, you'll finally get to play Titanfall 2.
I can't wait because I really don't want to buy an Xbox One because I have no reason to.
No, and I'm excited. Titanfall is a great blend of shooter and mech mechanics. It's kind of like Overwatch. It's not as complex, but it does add some more gameplay mechanics than just running around and shooting people. Because you have to run around and then destroy mechs and dodge mechs and jump on mechs and mechs, and it's a lot of fun.
It's Gundam the game.
Yeah.
Even though there's plenty of Gundam the games out there, but
it's Gundam the FPS the game.
This is Gundam the FPS. Yes.
And then speaking of sequels, EA has announced that it wants to release new Star Wars games annually. And it looks like to start this tradition, we're going to have Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2017.
I'll wait for the reviews. I'll wait. I liked the new Battlefront. It wasn't worth. I got the collector's edition, so that means I got the season pass with it. So I put $80 down on it, and I regret it completely. That's $80. I still play. I liked playing it. I just played it for 2 days, and I was done with it. Now it's just sitting there collecting dust. I moved on.
Yeah, I played the beta with you, and that was it for me.
Yeah, the beta is what convinced me to buy it, and then I didn't realize. Oh, the beta was the whole game. The beta is the whole game.
Pretty much.
I mean, there's more to it, but basically the whole game. I didn't think about this when you first mentioned it, but I just came to the realization BioWare is an EA company.
Oh.
That means to me, Knights of the Old Republic.
That could be a thing.
That could be a thing in the future, and it could be a remake. I doubt it. BioWare doesn't really do that. Mass Effect Andromeda is confirmed coming out early 2017. Speaking of BioWare, they're going to do it. They said they're not going to push it back anymore. It's coming. It is coming. And we're going to get more information at EA Play, which is EA's version of E3, because they're not going to be at E3. But yeah, that's part of the Battlefront 2 news that we were talking about. Segued into
early 2017. Awesome.
I would love a new coder. I want a new coder. It doesn't have anything. It could be anything. It could be a remake of the first one. I love the first one, just never got around to beating it. I never played Coder 2, but if they just came out with a modern version of Coder, that's what I want.
Yeah, we said in a previous episode there is a fan-made version that's coming out.
Yes, there is. Who knows? Who knows when that's coming out, though?
Yeah.
Who knows? But that gets me excited. New Star Wars properties every year. That means, to me, BioWare could be working on something. Because other than Mass Effect Andromeda, I haven't really heard of anything else coming from BioWare. So, and, EA likes to make these game developers into sweatshops. So, I think they're going to pump out something else too.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you hear at EA Play that something else besides Mass Effect Andromeda is going to come out soon for Star Wars. But yeah, anything else, Russell? Any other news?
No, that's pretty much it. There's just been some new hardware release or announcements for computer gaming. Check out NVIDIA for more details. About it.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. There's going to be a new Coder game, and if you don't, there's going to be it. And you heard it here. It's going to happen. And if one comes out, you have to pay us. I'm just joking.
No.
You don't have to do anything. But yeah, this has been the news.
This has been the news for this show.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
All right. That about wraps up Bloodborne. You can find us on Twitter at CDuckGamers. You can find our Facebook page. Please like our Facebook page. It's the Crunchy Duck Gamers. And Russell, give the iTunes
spiel. Yeah, so leave us a review on iTunes. You can find us just by going to podcast and searching the Crunchy Duck Gamers. Leave us a review on iTunes, and if there's anything in the podcast that we didn't touch upon or anything about the game that you'd like us to talk about, just leave a comment in the review.
Yeah, and there's always a chance we see a review. We like the review, or we might read it on the show. And you want to be rich, you want to be famous. It's not going to happen by reading our.
I'm on this podcast, and I'm not rich or famous. So
give it time, Logan. Good things come to those who wait and play Bloodborne.
All right.
Yeah, give it time. What's going to happen? We're going to be rich and famous one day. And
tomorrow you're going to find a quarter on the street.
Crunchy Duck Gamers.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm on my way.
It's starting. This is where it starts. Anyway, Logan, shameless plug
it's
time.
Not shameless. I have a lot of shame. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on Twitter at TuminatorKH13. You can also find me on Tumblr at tuminator.tumblr.com. Follow me, yo. I'm kind of cool. I'm not.
No, he's not.
No, he is. That's why we have him on the podcast.
Yeah, we like having him on the podcast. That's why since he's been on 4 weeks in a row.
You guys should just start paying me now. Like, we're
all right.
We don't even pay ourselves.
Our CEOs are so selfish; they don't even pay us, and we're the CEOs.
We just gave ourselves a bonus of $0.00.
Man,
rolling in it.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Woo!
Bye.
Go play Bloodborne,
please.
It's awesome.
Yeah, do it.